Slow, CEO, Gardens by the Bay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the launch of Garden Pod. Some time ago, Gardens by the Bay, Kofat, Deputy CEO, asked me, invited me to set up one of my hotels here in Gardens by the Bay. And I was like, absolutely, I'm going to do that. Who doesn't want to set up a hotel here? And then Kofat asked me this question. He said, how soon can you set up this hotel? And I think back then, I was very influenced by a book in the Old Testament by Nehemiah. Some of you may know Nehemiah rebuilt the walls of Jerusalem in less than 6 months. So inspired by that, I told Kofat, I can do it in 6 months. Where's Kofat? Yeah, I said, I can do it in 6 months. That was 2 years ago. Okay, 2 years ago. So first and foremost, let me apologize to Gardens by the Bay, Felix, Kofat, for the delay in the launch of this hotel. I'm so sorry about it. But in my defense, Nehemiah did not have to contend with COVID-19. And I'm pretty sure BCA and SCDF did not exist 2,000 years ago. Jokes aside, I would like to show you some pictures of how we constructed the hotel. Thank you. All right, so the Garden Pod story, here we go. The architects which I chose was LAUD Architects. They're here. LAUD Architects, hands up. Yeah, cool. Thank you. Yes. And I chose them and I said, come up with something spectacular, because that's what Garden said. How do you match the beauty of these gardens, which is world-renowned, right? So they walked around. They chanced upon this naked baby, white baby. They said, okay, it's a sculpture, so we have to do something similar. It has to be a sculpture as well. When you walk past it, you will not know what it is, but you like be in awe. So a lot of people walk past here, same thing. They say, what is this? They walk in, is this a restaurant? Is it a visitor center? I get it a lot, Felix, visitor center. So maybe we should set up something like that here. Okay, so the architect came out with some sketches. They said, let's do something cantilevered, because all my hotels are made of containers, as some of you may know, right? So they said, okay, let's put the containers on top, cantilevered. Yeah, this is the design basically. They're going to have not only cantilevered, they're going to have the views of the gardens, because we're here in the gardens, right? So the most important thing shouldn't be the hotel, it should be the gardens. So we should complement the gardens itself. And when they say the word cantilevered, and when the picture came out, we were all in awe. Okay, even the CEO, everyone in the garden said, oh my God, so beautiful, But you know what they say, right? When architects come out with something beautiful, it is totally not practical, right? So I learned that the hard way. Okay, so anyway, so we managed to do it. There are 4 rooms in this hotel. We are all of us going to take a tour after a while. So the bedroom sits basically on the top. If you look behind me, actually the bedroom is a shipping container. It sits on top. Let me go back. And actually the kitchen sits downstairs. So later when you go to the top, you take the spiral staircase to go down to complete your tour, okay, of the hotel. This is how it looks like. Actually, it's not really a cross. It's a pinwheel design, okay, but this is an earlier design. We have a lobby. You have a lift in there as well. This is the 3D rendering. Yes, I know. When we showed this to everyone said, wow. And I remember Garden said, Liang Chang, make sure it looks exactly like this. The amount of pressure I had, I cannot begin to imagine. So the thing is that the architect design is they not only wanted to make it into a sculpture-looking building, they also wanted to have sculptures within sculptures as well. So you can see there's a spiral staircase there. It's actually made of rusty steel. You can see behind you, there is actually the staircase behind us. Yes, this is a top view. There are PV solar panels on top of the container. Please take my word for it, don't climb up, okay? So up to 80% of our electricity is generated by solar power. Up to 80%, yeah. So now you're going to see behind me the lights are going to be lighted up. And I said earlier on just now that it looks different during the day and it looks different during the night. In fact, it's very, very pretty at night and at day as well. So the lights are coming up right now. Later when you leave, you will take a look behind. It looks very, very different. We have this tower here. Okay, it's not as high as the original design. It's got lights there as well coming from. So we wanted it to be like a beacon. So whenever you walk around, you look at it. So this is where the hotel is. This is how the story started. We use shipping containers. So that the fire, if there's any fire that happens on the platform level, first, second level, it will not go down to the first level. So that's the reason why we had to rip up the boards and replace it with a metal platform. So this is how it looks like after we are done with the renovation. of the containers. So after that, what we did was we actually brought it here on flatbed trucks to a car park next door. So we had construction in two sites. One is the car park next here, and one is the construction being done here simultaneously. So we did in parallel. We used a crane to lift up the container, and we put it here in the car park. This is how it looks like with mirror base ends at the background. And when it's here, my contractors will come in and they will put in the glass, they put in the fire-rated partitions, the ceilings, doors, things like that. This is how it looks like before my hotel came in. Okay, I know you're gonna say, "Oh, so pretty," you know, it's very pretty. But there's one thing that you have to know: when we leave this place in a few years' time, we're gonna reinstate it to look exactly like this. And a lot of people are saying, "Liang Chang, what's the difference of your hotel and other hotels?" And let me tell you this: it's because we move our hotels around the island. So this is basically one of the main KPIs. Like one main difference of our hotel is that we move it around. So this is how we had to level the sand. Okay, there was some hills there, so we leveled it. We had to dig trenches to put in the power supply, the lines. And then the foundation work came. Okay, so you cannot put the containers on soft ground, so you got to put it on solid ground. So these are, we call it RC slabs. We have to reinforce it with rebar. The picture on the right is actually the lift pit. Yes, we have a lift. I know, okay. So later when you go in, please use the lift, okay. So this is how it looks like, okay. So we had to put in the sewage pipes, right, and all the water pipes, everything has to be put in. So this is how the RC slab looks like after we're done with it. So it looks nice and ready. This took us 6 months actually. just to do this, okay, incredible. Right, this is another angle of the RC slab. Okay, so after the RC slab, we put in the metal bars. This is basically the first level. As you know, the containers are for the second level. So this is the work started for the first level. So all these metal structures. And by the way, I have to tell you guys that we have to paint this with fire-rated paint as well. Okay, because SCDF said just in case there's fire that goes off the metal bars. And my first question was, can fire burn metal bars? The answer is yes. So I'm like, okay. And I spent $40,000 painting this bus with fire rated. Okay, I had to throw that in, right? So it's not cheap to do all this fire rating stuff. All right, so these are the architects that have to come very often, right? Thank you. LAUD Architects coming down to make sure that the measurements are correct. Can you imagine, guys? We make the steel bars, and then the containers go on top, and it's the wrong fitting. So you can't say, "Oops," it's too late, right? So all the measurements have to be done correctly up to the last mm. Okay, it was that accurate to do this. On the right side, you can see the spiral staircase being made at one of our subcontractors, SI Engineering. I think they're here today as well. This spiral staircase is a special staircase. I want a normal spiral staircase, but my architects said no. We want to have a sculpture within a sculpture, so it has to be a special spiral staircase. Again, meaning a lot of money. Okay. Right, so when you walk in there and you walk on the spiral staircase, please be awed by the staircase, okay? Yeah, okay, right, so we've done that. Yes, actually, I did some painting for the spiral staircase, yeah, mainly because I'm trying to save money. Yeah, and not only that, during COVID, it was hard to get workers as well, so I had to double up as well, okay. So we moved the spiral staircase from Jurong all the way here using a crane. We use a lot of cranes. I think I can buy a crane, you know, the amount of money I spent on a crane, but I won't know where to park it, right? So here it is. We moved a 100-ton crane and we moved the spiral staircase into the first level. So we did the structure and then moved the spiral staircase. This is how it looks like before we move the containers. So now it's the tricky part. Everyone turned up that day. It's like, oh no, are we able to put the containers? Is it going to fit, right? So that's the... Yes, this is how it looks like. The crane's here, everyone's here, everyone's praying. And this is how it looks like before we put it on. And guess what? It fits. Yeah. Thank God. Yeah, so we didn't bring it back to a redo. Okay, so it fits. This is how it looks like. Next, we had to put in the second level. Okay, and we had to put in fire exit staircase as well. We have 2 fire exit staircase. So guys, if there's a fire, don't panic, number 1. Number 2, look for the fire exit sign. Number 3, walk down. There's no run. Walk down the fire exit staircase, okay? And we had to well, I'll talk about the walls next to the fire exit staircase in the wall. So this is the lift pit on the second level. Yeah, so those walls are actually fire-rated walls as well. We have to put the 2 fire exit staircase there, but If you go in later on, you realize that the containers have glass on both sides, with the exception of 2 containers. Why? We have to put a solid wall there just in case there's a fire. You know, the occupants will be protected by the fire, and that's why you need to have a solid wall next to the fire exit staircase. We can't put glass there. There are reasons behind that. All right, so all the works we went in, basically the electrical works, the piping works, all done it. So we had to put in insulation as well. That's rock wool, okay? So that's why it keeps it cool during the day. Special glass, okay? Aircons. These are the tiling works being done in the bathroom and the washroom. Okay. Yeah, electrical systems basically in place. This hotel is protected by using a lightning protection system here on the left side. So don't worry, if lightning strikes, it's safer to be in the hotel than out here. All right. So we also have an electrical system, a DB board, and a hose reel system in case of fire. This is how the lift looks like. Yes, this after I painted. This is how it looks like. And I must tell you guys this, after I was so proud of my work, one day I came back, one of my workers decided to take an initiative to paint over the rust. Because he said, boss, I do you a favor. These are very rusty, so I paint over. Oh my God, there's a few $1,000s worth of paint in there. Okay, so I had to repaint it back. It's so painful. All right, the carpentry is here. My carpenter is Asan. Asan, where are you? At the back there. Asan is a 70-year-old guy. One clap for him, please. Thank you. I work with all my Singapore contractors. They're either very young or very old. I don't discriminate in terms of ages. And the problem is that sometimes it takes time to do these things, right? So yes, we have solar panels, as I mentioned just now. So PV Foundry is providing the solar panels. Yeah, Pro is providing us the decks. I think you're here somewhere. Okay, so these are the decks. That's me. Yes, yes. I said I was doing some painting. This is proof and testimony that I was doing some painting. And later on, when you do your tour and you realize some of the paintwork is not very good, you know why. Okay. Our first occupants are not humans. Our first occupants were otters. Yes, they decided to stay. And the worst thing about the otters, they don't pay, you know. And yeah, so I had to get the otter working group, and Bernard's here. Where are you, Bernard? And so Bernard's here somewhere. I can't see him. At the back, yeah, Mr. Otter. Yeah, thanks to him, he helped us to relocate the otters. Yeah, but before his team came, actually the otters found out he was coming and decided to leave anyway. So that's Bernard's reputation. Okay, even the otters are afraid of him. Right. But thanks anyway, Bernard, for helping out. I need to thank some people. First and foremost, PV Foundry. I think if you're here, basically you provide the, well, I've got that, something very shy. Okay, invent and build solar panels, project turnkey solutions basically. And the thing about this particular design, which their design in Singapore, is that it's very thin and very slim, so it's very flexible. Okay, so this is a Singapore homegrown company. Next is Eureka Technologies. Thank you for providing us with your switches. These switches are made in Germany. So later on when you go in there and you switch and you on the lights and it feels very nice, it's because it's very expensive, okay? And they sponsored it. Yeah, thanks so much, Eureka. They also sponsored the energy management system in there. So if the aircons are kept cool, it's because they're putting the systems in there as well. Thanks. Okay, G-Trip, I know you guys are here. Hands up, excellent, here you go. Okay, another Singapore company. We work with a lot of Singapore companies. So G-Trip basically provided us with a system, a check-in system. So it's actually approved by the Singapore Tourism Board. Charlie, you may know about them. They actually, so in order to check into my hotel, you need to download the app. And then later, Minister, I will show it to you when you use the app to open the door to take out the keys. So that's what G-Trip does. So thanks a lot, G-Trip. We work with Igloo Home. Also, they sponsored us the locks as well, right? So Igloo Home basically, the boss is not here. He's based in the US. So Igloo Home locks basically is a digital lock, and it works with the app on the right side, which is the G-Trip app. So a lot of Airbnbs are using their locks as well. So, but we use Igloo Home for all our container hotels. So thank you very much, Igloo Home, for your support. Next is Isotech. So Isotech basically provides us with the fire-rated walls that you see in there. When you go in there, you see the fire-rated walls. You cannot see what's inside the walls. It's actually made of recycled glass. Yeah, it's so cool because it's fire rated because number one, number two, basically it's also soundproof as well. So thank you a lot, Isotech, for your support and sponsor for the walls. Next. Maison de Laze, okay, I think I pronounced that right, is a luxury fragrance house born from Asian inspirations. It is Asia's first niche luxury fragrance house, fusing the historic art of classic French perfumery with Asian overtures. Okay, I hope I get it right. Later during the tour, you go up to my room. If it smells well, nice, it's because of Maison de Laze. Okay, if it doesn't smell wise, you can ask Liz later on. Next. We work with a lot of startups, a lot of young startups actually. So Social Soil is one of them. So the founders of Social Social are passionate in regenerative gardening and farming. They wanted to make a change in the gardening and landscaping scene in Singapore, reducing the waste that is generally locally into high quality plant food. They wish to unlock greater understanding and availability of great soil to solve some of the world's challenges, addressing climate change and feeding the world's 9 billion people. So very lofty aims that are here today. Later, Minister, you will get to see them as well, so Social Soil. Next would be, Soda Lemon, again, another young company. Soda lime glass is commonly used for glass containers to store food and drinks. Soda Lemon was born from the founders' belief that its main foundation should be rooted on the pillars of sustainability. They aim to transform the way our society views glass both as a resource and as a material. They wish to reduce our society's impact on nature. So basically, that's Soda Lemon. We're also displaying their products in our hotel, so later on you can take a look. Last but not least is the Plastic Project. The Plastic Project exists to tackle one of the biggest issues Earth is currently facing: plastic pollution. They are a community-driven organization dedicated to educate and recycle plastic waste into reusable goods. They are creating products in Singapore to positively impact the planet with education and advocating for progressive circular economy. Okay, so those are my partners. I have another slide to thank the people here. Minister, thank you for coming. Charlie, thanks a lot for coming. Felix. GP Board of Directors for approving this project. Susan, I'm not sure you're here today. GP staff, Kofat, Adrian, Derek, Ping, Sharon, Yovi, and all the staff that helped us to set up this entire place. Can you give them a round of applause, please, for coming for the brief? Thank you, guys. Really appreciate what you've done. My investors, Lawrence, Nicholas Malcolmson, and my brother Dennis as well, for investing and believing in my vision. OCBC Bank, Linus, it's a surprise you turn up. You say you're not coming. So thanks a lot for supporting us. Iris, James, Chun Sing. You know, all the banks will look at us and look at our historical records. And we are a startup, so it's difficult. OCBC Bank look at us and say, what is your future potential? And that's what they believe in. And they also believe in investing in sustainable projects as well. And so I got to thank you, Linus, and OCBC Bank, for supporting us. Pro-enterprise panel, when we first came out with this idea, they approved it, and that's how I managed to get my first hotel at Ayer Rajah, and the Ministry of Trade and Industry, Dennis Fu, Nick, Alan, and from MTI, Rachel, Alex, Shelley. Thank you so much for your support, MTI. Singapore Tourism Board, Keith can't be here today. Andrea, Leah, Emilia, where's STB? Are you guys here? Hands up, yeah, you're at the back. Thank you, STB. Thanks for coming, and thanks for your support as well. My professional engineers, I know so many professional engineers. I know more PEs than I have friends, okay, because of this hotel. Because every single thing I put in, I need a PE endorsement. Okay, so LAUD Architects, thank you very much. A round of applause for LAUD Architects, please. Thank you for this beautiful design. Yes. My other PEs, basically C2E, Blue Tech, and my subcontractors. I mentioned Asan, the carpentry, Miss Lim, YE Glass, I mentioned Rig, as engineering. You guys are here. Thank you so much for your support as well. Ling, official photographer, thank you for your pictures. Bernard, Sia, thank you for helping us with the authors. My business partner, Alfred Leong, and all the All-ID staff, Hardy, Wati, Aichen. Thank you guys. I know you guys are out there helping out with the organization. Really appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Lorraine, my wife. Okay, yes, she's here. Without her signing the checks, this would not have happened. Okay, so yes, a lot of power that she holds. She's out there right now. So thank you. Oh, she's here. Okay, so my wife is here. And I build the hotels, but my wife runs it. Okay, so it's important. My daughter Shui as well. Where's she? Where's Shui? Okay, Shui, she's shy. All right, right. So I know you think your dad's crazy. Yeah, be crazy like your dad. Okay, that's my message to you. Family and friends, thank you so much for coming here today. I got one very last slide. This is actually a picture of me and my dad, taken a few months ago. He just turned 80 years old. Right, so I'm videoing this right now. I think we're videoing this. We are videoing it right now because he can't be here today. All right. So I remember basically 40 years ago, my dad came up to me and he said, I was struggling in school, and my dad said, Chiang, never give up. Work hard and never give up. And that words actually inspired me to do well. So 40 years later, now that I'm here, this message is for you, Dad. Okay, I'm making this building and I'm dedicating this building to you. And my message to you today is this: never give up, Dad. Always remain positive. And I love you. Mwah. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Sia. Next, let us take a look at a short video to find out a little more about this unique hotel concept.
So when you walk past it, you don't really notice, but it's like you look at it and it says,